Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday, 20th January 2023. In today's Mill news, it has come about that we have bid for Lyndon Dykes of QPR. This is from the dailymail.co.uk. It says QPR reject £3 million bid from Millwall for striker Lyndon Dykes. The Scottish international also the subject of interest from Championship rivals Stoke City and Burnley. Really? QPR striker Lyndon Dykes has just 18 months left on his current contract. The club have rejected a bid from Championship rivals worth £3 million. Burnley and Stoke are also said to be keen on the Scottish international. The Scottish international, basically just repeat the first two things in the front line. Although QPR are 12th in the table, they are only just 4 points off playoff positions, with Dykes an important member of their squad. In 27 Championship games, Dykes has scored 6 goals, including braces against Reading and Cardiff City. Among the clubs looking at the 27-year-old Championship are Championship leaders Burnley and struggling Stoke City. There have also previously been in reports that Scottish giant Rangers could look to sign Dykes. Rangers boss Michael Beale left QPR back in November after just 5 months as manager. Indeed. Was that it? Apparently that was it. And here we go. This is it. So, as a QPR fan, I'd love to get rid. He can't hit a cow's backside with a banjo. Missed too many easy chances. Very true, but he makes a big nuisance of himself, and with the right forwards alongside could create lots of chances. He has something, although at times it's difficult to see it. Big old nuisance of a fella, but doesn't score enough. Misses sitters on a regular basis. As a QPR fan, I hope we can offload him, but that £3 million needs to be doubled. So you're saying how shit he is, but then you're saying it needs to be £6 million. Hang on a minute, you can't have it both ways. Either he's shit and you want to get rid of him, or he's worth £6 million. Which one is it, mate? You can't have it both ways. We're all trying to buy the league, indeed. No way we bid £3 million. We'll do this to say we tried everything to get our targets, then we end up with Big Matt Smith back on loan. Well, I don't think this come from Millwall actually, because the only other local news site to have it is this from West London Sport, which is basically the South London press to QPR. They get all the stories, so they know what's what behind the scenes. So QPR reject offer from Millwall for Dykes. QPR rejected a bid from Millwall for Lyndon Dykes. The Lions offered a deal potentially worth up to £3 million. You see that? That's the important bit there. That's why I said it in a different tone. So what I think we've done is we've bid the million. So apparently we bid £1 million for Ogbeni at Rotherham. So I think we bid the £1 million that we had for him, and we bid it for Lyndon Dykes, and then we add other add-ons like if he plays a certain number of games, because we don't want to pay for a crocked player. If we get promoted, which like ifs and nuts, like, well, if we get promoted, I mean, when's that going to happen? It might not happen. So obviously, then they're not going to. That's not money in the bank. That's like cloud cuckoo money. You know, you can't bank on that. But yeah, I think that's what it is. Now it might be that Millwall did this to they know that QPR have signed Jamal Lowe on loan, so maybe they might be hoping to letting Lyndon Dykes go. Maybe. So yeah, they might be open to letting him go. Obviously, once you get to the summer as well, once you get to the summer and he's in the last year of his contract, they'll be lucky to get £1 million for him then. They'll be absolutely lucky to get £1 million. Well, it might be as well, we might still be trying to get Ogbeni for Rotherham. Maybe they're still deciding, they're waiting, they don't know what they're going to do, whether they're going to accept it or not. But maybe we've put the bid in for Dykes to get that other deal moved. Because we know QPR messed us around with Danny McNamara. They bid like 200k, and they upped it like 300k at the start of the season, which is all kind of head scratching and a little bit weird. So maybe we're doing a similar thing to them, just to get other people moving. Maybe letting agents and other stuff know we are trying to buy a player. If anyone's interested, get in touch. But so there you go. While Stoke have indicated that they are also interested in him. Rangers have been linked with the Scotland striker since Mick Beale quit Loftus Road to take over as manager at the Glasgow club. However, Beale was unhappy with his attacking options during his brief spell at QPR, during which Dykes went 10 matches without scoring and was keen to bring in another striker. Yeah, but that's at the Championship, and you got the Championship and there's got the Scottish Premier League. I think if he goes to the Scottish Premier League, he'll be scoring goals for fun. A lot of players do that, and then they come down south and struggle a little bit. QPR are open to selling him, so here we go. So we've got the insiders, West London Sport, telling us what they know from QPR. And they've got a line here: QPR are open to selling him, but Mill's offer was short of the club's valuation. So that's why this has come out. That's why it's in the Daily Mail. Someone at QPR told the geezer at the Daily Mail, this is the story. And they want it out there because they want to sell him. They want to cash in. They want to get the money. But they want more money. Are they absolutely, certainly, 100% gonna sell him? Do they need to sell him for financial fair play stuff? Will we wait until the Tuesday, the 31st, and then they're gonna be like, okay, we'll take your million that could be 3 million. We'll do that, or not? Is it one of them? Are they certainly 100% trying to sell him? Because obviously they've got Jamal Lowe on loan now. Maybe they'll rely on him and get rid of Lyndon Dykes. Dykes, 27, was signed for Livingston in August 2020 and has scored 26 goals in 102 championship appearances for the R's. 6 of those have come this season. So he's not prolific, but he is a target man. He's more mobile than Matt Smith, actually. He's very quick. Obviously, we're going to have a look at that in a minute, but we're going to go on to QPR fans. As we just saw on the Daily Mail article, they think he's shit, but they want as much money as they can get from him, which is dichotomy there, isn't it? So we got the fans. So this is fansnetwork.co.uk. It's a forum it's called Loft for Words. Loft for Words. If you want to read this, you go on a search engine and search for QPR forum, and you'll find it. And they say here, we're not going to accept 3 million unless we have a replacement lined up. I'll take million. Someone says I'll take 3 million, but not from Millwall. So obviously they want to get rid of him. They'll take the 3 million, but they normally to come to a championship rival. Because that could backfire and then it make them look stupid. So understandable. I wouldn't take 3 million. I can see his improvements since the new manager's come in. 2 of his best games in a QPR shirt, Reading and Sheffield United, and he's pivotal to how we play. Someone says unbelievable that we haven't accepted that. If 3 million had been offered, I would have thought we would have accepted it. So I think it's bollocks. Well, obviously we're assuming it's a million plus add-ons with a deal up to 3 million if all the things are met. So someone says you'll only accept it if your replacement lined up again. Dykes is a terrible player, so unless we think we can get more, it's a ridiculous decision to reject 3 million, unless of course it's all BS. Someone says, why would you accept someone's first bid? So obviously they think QPR will sell, but they're trying to get as much money as they can. So it means we might have to wait until the last day of the transfer window. Someone says I would assume the refusal for McNamara is part of our rejection. And apparently they're trying to do the deal. The reason why the Burnley deal was mentioned because they're trying to get Ashley Barnes as part of the deal. So I don't know about that. Why is he a Premier League striker? Why would Burnley sign him when they're certainly guaranteed to get to the Premier League? A bit of a weird one. Huh? So Millwall spent reasonably big in the summer, 1.6 million for the Dutch lad. Be very surprised if they have 3 million to spend in January too. Indeed. And then someone's clarifies it's 3 million after add-ons. He says, think we paid close to 2 million for him, so whilst it's a profit, it's not a fantastic return. Well, that's a couple of years later. Once they are over 4 million, we need to consider it. So, what do we increase? The upfront money or the add-ons at the back end? Plenty of us don't rate Dykes, but all of this interest in him is true. There must be something he does right, and our recruitment of him is not entirely wrong. The teams are not getting the best of him. I don't think it would be terrible to sell him and bring in Barnes until the end of the season, and then revisit then. Only problem is, again, it leaves us with 2 loans and no striker that we own. So there you go. So don't see the benefit of offloading into a team in the same division, different if the bid was from Scotland, but then only we have a better replacement ready to go immediately. And so here, this person writes an absolutely scathing piece about Mr. Dykes. It says we have an FFP gap to fill, and this will partially help to fill it. We're not going up or down, and we have low, so we are basically well situated at least to stay up. But keeping Dykes won't have a material impact on our final position. They basically think he's shit and he's not going to do anything, so why keep him? But anyone who's read the commentary on last week's match and Impact Low had will immediately see how much Dykes cripples our attack. He's a single reason our attack is so flaccid, and it has nothing to do with his mediocre to below average goal scoring record. He can't run behind the defence, which exacerbates our sideways no tempo passing issue. When we play low, we will see how he's running behind and into channels, create space for Willock and Chair to operate, thereby creating some tempo forward thrust into our play. He can't run at defenders with the ball, not essential for a striker, not a skill many have in this division. But again, it limits QPR going forward and shrinks the pitch for us. See what difference a Luton striker made by being able to run at our back line. But his skill set is aerial duels, but in basically 1 in 2 matches, but the centre back will have him in his pocket. He facilitates between these performances. We get the predictable best game for Rangers comment after a random match where he wins a few headers but totally invisible in the other half. So basically, if he goes up against a shit defenders, he does well because he's an aerial lad and he can do well. If he goes up against like Dale Fry at Middlesbrough, probably not too well. If he goes up against Hutch, again not too well. He's not a technical player, so can't link up with the likes of Chair, Willock and Roberts in the final third. And finally, his goal scoring record is totally average, a 1 in 4, many of which are pens and blows hot and cold, so we regularly endure 7 or 8 matches without a goal. We are very quick to sack managers and pay all associated costs, so why not get rid of Dykes, who I'm skeptical will improve much at this stage, take the money and reinvest next season. Indeed. Well, apparently he's worth 6 million though, so after that scathing review, he's complete dog shit, but they want 6 million. So why would you accept someone's first bid? And someone says, in case we play him Saturday. There you go. That's very witty. And here, someone comes back with a defence of Dykes. He does often go to run behind, especially in the first 30 minutes, but nobody ever releases him, and he does tend to give up on it. I don't think Willock and Chair trust him. They play by themselves or with Powell, Laird, etc., but they don't play with him. They'll choose other passes. They won't do 1-2s with him. They won't put him through. He's not the focal point of our main attack, even though he's the focal point of our attack, if you know what I mean. He's not integrated with the rest of the team's play. I'd love to see the stats of how many passes he receives from Willock and Chair and how that compares to other players. The number of times they ignore him is starting to grate, actually, even as I've loved watching them play. I think he might do very well with a team that trusts him. He's trying. When he's happy, he's a handful. He's shown he can score every kind of goal. He's a good age and physique, but currently doesn't suit us, and we don't suit him. Will he suit Millwall? I think you get the gist of that. I'm not going to read it all. Like I said, the website is called Loft for Words. Just QPR forum. There's another 3 pages of like this drivel to go. But yeah, they think he's dog shit and they want to get rid of him, but they won't sell him to a championship rival when they want 6 to 10 million for him. Interesting. So here we go. We're going to look at the numbers. This is from whoscored.com. Is he any good? What do you think? You probably already made your mind up. You probably think he's dog shit as well. But we will see. Now, what did I want to look at? This. Championship top players. Basically, top scorers, they mean. Not top players. We've got Zion Fleming there. 10 goals of our 32. That's 31%. But, have a look at this. So in terms of home games, Lyndon Dykes, for QPR, 6 goals of their 16. So he scored 6 championship goals this season. All of them have been at Loftus Road. all of them. And they've only scored 16 goals at Loftus Road, so that's 38% of the goals that he scored. That's interesting. And in terms of away players, Zion Fleming has scored 6 away goals, which is 12 of our away goals. That's half of our away goals scored from Zion Fleming. If we sign Lyndon Dykes, it could be a situation where we have Lyndon Dykes scoring at home, Zion Fleming scoring away. Happy days, because on Loftus Road the pitch is kind of small, pretty similar to the Den. I can see him doing well at the Den. Why not? So I wanted to show you that. Also, I'm going to show you this, which is, so this is the Championship players in a list by rating. This is the ratings on the right hand side in orange. So the best player in the league is Oliver Norwood, 7.51. And we're going to play around with this and see where Lyndon Dykes is on this list. So if we do by goals first, obviously there's the top scorers in the league. So where is Lyndon Dykes on this list? He's not on page 2, he is on page 3. So there he is, he's 26. He scored 6 goals in 23 starts, 4 sub appearances, 2,009 minutes, which is a lot. You compare him to the players around him who's also got 6 goals in this division. So he's no Ched Evans, who's got 6 in 928 minutes. So he does seem to be a bit not very clinical, shall we say. Now, let's move on to his shots per game. 2.2. That's quite a lot of shots per game. Let's sort the league by shots per game. Amazingly, you've got 2 Dutch players at the top, Joel Perot of Swansea and Mr. Zion Fleming of Millwall. 3.1 shots per game for him. So where are we in terms of Lyndon Dykes on shots per game? He's 14th. So he does get his chances on. He does get a lot of shots away. So again, not very clinical. But he gets the shots away. Which I assume most of them will be headers because he's a tall lad and he's target man. So he'll be getting on the end of the crosses and the corners and stuff. And that's the next point that we're going to look at. We're going to sort the players by aerials 1 per game. This is average per game. Now this is interesting. So, what have you ever played? You've seen that game? Guess Who? The kids' game, the board game, where you got the little cartoon characters that flip up. They're all flipped up, and then someone has to guess. You pick a name out. Someone has to guess what the name is that you picked out. So what we need a striker. We need a kind of front man, target man sort of style, but more mobile. So we've got that vision in mind. And then we do the Guess Who, where how old is he? He's a professional Northerner. No, tick him off, tick him off, tick him off, tick him off. So we tick the certain players off the list. Now in terms of aerials 1, most of these players at the top are defenders. Because defenders obviously have to defend aerially. But sometimes they get to go forward and do a bit of that as well. So they do that. But in terms of forwards who are aerial, Gary Medine, he's 32, he's a bit old. He's scored 4 goals in 20 starts, so he's alright. He's alright. Will he come down south to us? Is he worth it at 32? Will Blackpool let him go? Probably not. Troy Deeney certainly won't come to us. Mr. Watford, until he moved to Birmingham because he's old and they wanted to get rid of him. He's 34 years old. Certainly not coming to us. Scored 6 goals in 1,875 minutes. Then you've got Andy Carroll here, ex-international, having an Indian summer at Reading. Scored 4 in 11. Pretty decent. Amazingly, we still got Charlie Cresswell here, averaging 4.8 aerials 1. He scored 4 goals. He's still our 3rd highest goal scorer. Maybe we should play him up front. Maybe not. I don't know. But interesting. So, like I said, they're all defenders here. Jake Cooper there, not far behind, with his 4.6 aerials 1 per game. But like I said, they're all defenders. So we've ticked off the 3 forwards that are on the list. They're not on our radar. Well, they shouldn't be. We get to Charlie White. Now we were linked with Charlie White before when he was at Bradford. I think we did make a bid for him, but he seems to be a professional Northerner, not really willing to come down south, and you'll understand that. Fair enough. And probably not even more now. He probably has a family now. I'm just guessing. I don't know. He's 30 years old. So he scored 2 goals in 8 starts for Wigan, which isn't a lot. Has he been injured this season? Maybe he has. But he's won 4.1 aerials per game. But you look, shots per game, 0.9, not a lot. But then we get to the man at the moment, who I think is certainly the right man at the right time. And if he did sign for us, I would be very happy, even though a lot of fans are a bit nonplussed about this one. I think he is the right man at the right time. Here we go. Averages 4 aerials, 1 per game. He's in 15th place. He's 27 years old. I mean, he's playing in the London team, proven in the Championship, and he ticks so many boxes. He ticks so many boxes when you compare him with everyone else. Who else is there? Like going down. Oh, Hutch is there. Hey, Hutch, how you doing? We've got Ollie McBurney, certainly not coming to us. Maybe if he would have gone to jail for kicking that fan, we might have got him when he came out of jail. If Sheffield United kicked him off his contract, it might have been a possibility, but not now. Certainly not now. In terms of, let's go down a page. Is there anyone there? Those are all defenders. There's Adebayo there at Luton. So he wins 3.5 aerials, 1.9 shots per game. Mate at Reading. Okay. So there's not much else there. Everything else is defenders. Let's go down another page, shall we? I think I've made my point, but Josh McGuinness, again, 32. Getting on. He wins a lot of aerials, but his shots per game's down in the gutter, and he's got 1 goal in 10 starts. I think he's certainly a League One player, not Championship standard. Everyone else, defenders. Tom Bradshaw's there. Tom Bradshaw, 3.1 aerials, 1, 2 shots per game. So he's certainly Lyndon Dykes. His numbers are similar to Tom Bradshaw, but slightly better it looks like. There's Djukovic there. Remember him? He was a handful against us over the years, but so he hasn't been playing. He's 33. I imagine have his legs gone. He scored 1 goal in 531 minutes. Okay, not shots per game, 0.8. He's won 3 aerials. If we signed him, it would probably be like a Matt Smith style. I imagine. I think he's a bit slow now. But yeah, so the best Lyndon Dykes is the best option. I think he's the right man at the right time. And I can see why they tried to get him. Will it happen? I don't know. I would like it to happen. I don't know about you. Let's have a look. If I haven't convinced you, yeah, let's have a look. So this is his page on whoscored.com. This is his stuff so far. He's got 7.04 rating for Scotland in the Nations League tier. He's got 6.69 rating in the Championship so far this season. If we scroll down past that, so he's got 6 in 24 as a starting forward, 2 in 6 as a sub. His strengths are headed attempts, his weakness is passing, he likes to do flick-ons, and he plays the ball off the ground often. If we check out his latest matches, you can see, so here we go. So for Scotland, he come off the bench, it looks like, because he had 30 minutes on the pitch. Scored 2 goals, got man of the match. Not bad, eh? Not bad. So it looks like if you play to his strengths, you do well. QPR against Reading. Scored 2 goals, got man of the match. Against Cardiff, scored 2 goals, got man of the match. Scored a goal against Huddersfield, but they lost that game. So he does do pretty well. But like they say, he does kind of blow hot and cold. I imagine, like they said in the forum, he does seem to get better ratings at home than away. And I think it does depend on the quality of the defenders he goes up against and whether they can handle the aerial threat. But yeah, he seems to be a pretty decent player. I think, like I said, I think he's the right player at the right time. And I think it could be the missing piece if we do sign him, but we just have to wait for all the deals behind the scenes and how that's all working out. Obviously, it appears that QPR have leaked the story out to the press, so they clearly want people to know that they want to sell him. They're just quibbling about the price. It's like, would you sleep with me for £5? No, I'm not a whore. Well, would you sleep with me for £5 million? Oh yes. Well, we've established you are a whore, but at which price? So that's just what the haggling is about. And I think Gary Rowett, I told you in yesterday's video, Gary Rowett said, "Oh, we don't have the money to blow anyone out of the water." So we have to wait and see. Hopefully the QPR fans keep slagging him off, keep saying he's shit, which will put other clubs off, and Millwall will sign him anyway because we don't care. We've had a lot of shit players over the years, a lot of shit forwards. If he's anywhere half decent, he won't be at the bottom of our list of defenders, of attackers, and he might actually be quite good if we play to our strengths. It could be certainly the style of football that we play. I think he'd be very decent, especially if he plays off of Fleming, him and Fleming. I think they could work quite well together. So, moving on now. Again, Gary Rowett talking about transfers. Millwall will get transfer window deals done. As manager, Gary Rowett lays any squad strengthening fears. Gary Rowett is fully committed that Millwall will add to their squad before the transfer window closes. The Lions are light in the attacking department after Benninger his contract cancelled by mutual consent, and Isaac Noffey was sold to Stockport. Winger Tyler Berry is also out for a number of weeks with a hip injury. Millwall boss Rowett said, "We will make signings before the end of the window. Whether they are first choice, third choice, or fifth choice, and who knows? Fifth choice, Jesus. You're going to be scraping the barrel and just sign someone for the sake of signing someone. We can't really dictate that. We're working really hard. I don't push too much pressure on people because we're all putting a lot of effort and a lot of hours in. It's a very unpredictable window. If I'm a fan, I'm probably getting itchy feet wondering why we haven't made any signings. If they knew some of the targets we were after and some of the work that's going on, and they might understand it a little bit more. We realise we're in a good position. The owners desperately wanting to help us strengthen the team, providing it's done in a reasonable and rational way. Not just short-term deals, but longer-term deals. We've got some really good targets. We've been close, and the deals fell through. There are lots of things going on behind the scenes. Yeah, sounds like it will make a good TV show, like the Wrexham documentary or the Sunderland one. Sounds like they're having a barrel of a time behind the scenes. Millwall are not expected to make a breakthrough before tomorrow's trip to Cardiff City. By the time they next play at home to Sunderland on February the 4th, the window will be shut. Summer one means you have 6 weeks of off-season to line up deals and speak to agents, said Rowett. Then you probably have 6 weeks of pre-season, so 12 weeks with no games. The challenge in January is you're trying to sign players within the games. Things can be derailed by injury or suspension or someone coming out first. There's so many variables that make it more of a challenge. It's another window where we're looking for like a final couple of pieces of the jigsaw in some way, so it's not easy to find them. We can go and find players, no problem, sign players. It's all about signing the right ones. I've said that every window I've been here. Each window we've probably become a little bit stronger, but each time by trying to be patient. We only really let Bennick out because it was something he wanted to do. It came up quite quickly, and we only did that on the basis we were going to strengthen those areas. Your hope as a manager is that you're not waiting too long to do that. When you're in the position that we are, I appreciate that everybody is impatient, including me, but there is a process to go through. So there you go. Looks like keep waiting until Tuesday the 31st. Get the beers in, put up Sky Sports News, and keep watching it and waiting and waiting and waiting and then wait until 10:59 and see. Oh, there's a deal for Millwall. Oh, the paperwork hasn't gone through. The deal has not gone through. Oh. We'll see. So before we get to a preview of the Cardiff game, I'm going to share some. What am I going to share? I'm going to share some league news because obviously we're trying to sign some players. We need money to do that. Finances around the league. Here we go. Sheffield United given EFL transfer embargo over default of payments. So the new owners, they haven't paid the money that they owe other teams for transfers that have happened. It says in their most recent financial statement of June 2021, published on April 22nd, or April 2022. Sheffield United owed 18.25 million in outstanding transfer payments, with 2.4 million owed to the club. And the club's owner, Prince Abdullah, been in talks with an unnamed buyer over a potential takeover, which manager Paul Heckerboy said has been impacting on their transfer plans. Well, it's impacted them even more because they haven't they've defaulted on their payment and they've been blocked from registering any new players. So that's great, isn't it? And that's the team that's in second in this league, by the way. Can you believe that? Moving on now to this, Wigan Athletic got 3 points deduction. It's been suspended due to late player wage payments. So again, Lax owner Abdul Rahman Al Jazmi will be required to deposit 125% of monthly wage bill into the club account in case of further delays in payment. The sanction was given due to 3 cases of late wage payment to players. I know. Interestingly, was this every player or certain players? Because I know in around the leagues around the world, they pay the players, but if the player has a bad game, they're like, "Whoa," they just hold the money back. I'm like, wait, I signed you to do this, and you're not doing it. They are a bit fast and loose with that. They think they can play games with people's money. So there you go. But again, they've got 3 point deduction suspended till the end of the year. They could still go on until the League One campaign if they get relegated. So here we go. Cardiff City tried to insure Sala for 20 million the day after his death. This headline from the BBC is a bit of a disgrace, to be honest with you. So this is from obviously bbc.co.uk. Now, what is that about? Well, this is a quote from an insurance company. And why would you believe anything an insurance company said? So Cardiff City tried to take out £20 million insurance on Sala the day after he was killed in a plane crash. Now, the company of insurance brokers said the club failed to get cover before his plane went down. The club, so Cardiff City had to pay the transfer fee to Nantes. They paid transfer fee. They're trying to get the fee back from the insurance company because that's what that's for. And as we know, with an insurance company, they will find any excuse they can to not pay you. They will fight tooth and nail to not pay you, especially if it's £10 million. So the insurance company's not paying out, so Cardiff have had to sue them in the High Court. So the club says the firm failed to say players will not be covered if they were not timely informed of new signings, such as the new star striker. But lawyers representing the insurance company say it was not up to them to chase the club bosses over making sure new signings were insured, and the club were fully aware Sala was not insured. They said that Cardiff City contacted insurers regarding Sala on the morning after his flight went missing, and they said so basically they need to tell the insurance company we signed this player, add his details to our insurance policy, please insure it. You need to tell them. Obviously, they signed him. He went on the plane flight overnight. The plane went missing overnight. The next morning, when they're in the office, whether they knew or the person who put the email in knew or didn't know, they then email the insurance company. Oh, by the way, did you know we signed this player at this time at this date, add him to our insurance policy? Now they're saying, well, hang on, fuck that. We're not paying you because you told us after he went missing. Yeah, but the deal was done before he went missing. So that's how they're trying to get out of it. They're saying, "Oh, you told us. You told us afterwards." But this whole situation is still going on. It's a bit sad, isn't it? But I think you can time the demise of Cardiff to this situation, and it's still dragging on. You've got lawyers; they were forced to pay the transfer to the club in France. Now they're having to sue the insurance company, and you've got to think until this is all done and dusted, it's hanging over the club like a cloud, and it's not really they can't really move on from it, and they're kind of on a downer. It's affected the ability of the club in terms of the money they pay for players and stuff, and yeah, it's Cardiff City not really going to move forward until they move on from this, which is still going on. So, like I said, this is our opponents tomorrow. So I left this one till last because now we're going to jump into the preview of that game. And here we go. So this is it. This is from 11v11.com. It's the head-to-head record between Millwall and Cardiff. I've sorted it from Cardiff City versus Millwall games. And Cardiff City one the preeminent Welsh team, to be honest, yeah. One of many who play in the English system, and the only one to have won the World Cup and featured in several FA Cup finals. So, arguably the number one Welsh team over the years, and they're on a bit of downer at the moment. But we haven't won that many times there, to be honest, yeah. Over the years, does seem to be a bit our best record. 97, 99, 2003, 2005, 3 wins and a draw out of 4 games. So not bad. And then recently, the last time we went there, last season, we lost 3-1. We haven't won there in, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. We've gone 9 games without a win. That's very streaky. And what do I think about streaks? They've got to win sometime. And a lot of people are digging Cardiff out over that thing, that false headline about that they tried to insure the player after he went missing and was presumed dead. That's a bit naughty, that headline, because that's just a quote from the insurance company, and I wouldn't take what they say as gospel. I don't know if they had to swear on the Bible when they said that in the court of law, but maybe check the Bible for school schmucks. So yeah, it's not looking good for us so recently. A lot of draws, maybe 4 draws in a row. Kind of weird, but like I said, it's better than it usually went on because we usually used to lose. So yeah, but I think we're overdue a win, to be honest. I don't see this winless run continuing given the 2 club situation, which we're going to have a look at now. This is from whoscored.com. Let's look at the match facts on the right hand side. Actually, Cardiff have drawn 5 of their last 6 matches. There have been under 2.5 goals scored in Cardiff's last 5 games. Cardiff are undefeated in the last 9 home matches against Millwall in all competitions, and Millwall are undefeated in 10 of their last 11 matches against Cardiff in all competitions. And here we go. We've sorted it for home versus away. So the last 3 games against Cardiff, away at Cardiff, we scored a goal, a 3-1 defeat and 2-1 draw. Before that, in the previous 3 games, we failed to score, 2 0-0 draws and a 1-0 defeat. There's not many goals in this fixture over the years. Out of that 6 games, 6 goals for Cardiff and 3 goals for Millwall. 12 yellow cards for Cardiff though, and 4 for Millwall. So that leaves us with 2 defeats, 4 draws, and 0 wins. Like I said, I think we are overdue. Moving on to the table. Obviously, we're 8th, and they are just above the relegation places. They've scored 21 goals in 27 games. Not the best, but they haven't conceded that many. Only conceded 30 in 27, which is a lot better than the teams around them. In terms of home record, their home record is better than their table record, but they haven't won in the last 6 home games. They've won 4 home games out of 14 all season, drawn 5, lost 5, only scoring 11, conceding 12. In terms of Millwall's away record, we obviously know Millwall not the best in the league. And so our away record is as shit as Cardiff's. Is exactly as shit as Cardiff's. So obviously the difference between Millwall and Cardiff is our home record is fantastic and theirs isn't that all that. We've won 3, drawn 3, and lost 7 away from home. Pretty similar, pretty similar. But in terms of form, so obviously they haven't won in 6 games. They've drawn 5, lost 1, scored 4, conceded 5. We, in our last 6 games, have won 2, drawn 2, lost 2, scored 6, conceded 5. Interesting stuff. Okay. Shall we go to home and away? So here we go. Cardiff, in terms of home form, are 22nd, drawing 3, losing 3. And in terms of Millwall, not that bad. Our away form has picked up since the formation change against Rotherham. Hasn't been. We've been improving. It hasn't been. It's been stop-start. We did all right in certain games, but didn't get the result. At Sunderland, first half was magic. Second half, not so much. The Middlesbrough game, performance was all right. Didn't really have the clinical finishing up front. So let's look at these games. So Cardiff's last 5 home games. They failed to score against QPR. They failed to score against Sheffield United. They scored against Blackpool, but it was a 1-1 draw. They scored against Wigans, that was a 1-1 draw. So it seems they could score against the shit teams. So they scored 2 against Leeds. That was in the FA Cup. Which they got them a replay, which they played this midweek. So they played a grueling game this midweek away at Helen Road. They lost 5-2. 5-2. Well, they did fight back. They were 5-0 down and came back to 5-2. So they do have a bit of fight in them, it seems, because if you went 5 down, why would you carry on trying to? Why would you get the 2 goals back? But they got something about them. They had a bit of fight. Now, obviously, Millwall's away form. 2 standout results of the Preston game, which was the Zion Fleming finishing masterclass, and the Watford performance, which was the best performance probably of the season, either home or away. Failed to score against Middlesbrough, lost narrowly 1-0. Failed to score against Sunderland, lost 3-0. Failed to score at Birmingham, failed to score at Huddersfield. So which Millwall's going to turn up? The one who can score, the one that failed to score? I think the one that can score. Here are the strengths and weaknesses for each team, and the styles of play. Pause it and read it if you want to do that. Match forecast. Cardiff will steal the ball from the opposition, and Millwall dominate in the air. Okay. So let's get on to the prediction. What did they say? So obviously, Mr. Marlon Romeo is out injured, so he won't be playing, which is a nice touch. So we've seen the match facts. Here's the prediction. Dean Whitehead hope that his side produces a response on Saturday after Cardiff were hammered 5-2 by Leeds United in Wednesday night's FA Cup third round replay. The Bluebirds are winless in 8 championship games and have slipped to 21st in the table. A crisis club indeed. Millwall couldn't produce a response to Marcus Force's 54th minute goal last weekend as they accepted defeat against Michael Carrick's informed Middlesbrough side. The Lions have dropped out of the playoff places for the moment, trail 6th place West Brom by 2 points with a game in hand, and they predict Cardiff City 0, Millwall 1. Yes, what does Sky Sports say? Well, let's have a look. As we scroll down, I'm sure we're pretty near the bottom. And where are we? Where are we? Still scrolling, still scrolling. Aha, here we are. So, Prime predicts from SkySports.com, Cardiff 0, Mill 2. I think this is a win. It's a guaranteed win. I'm going to tell you now. Put this in your hackers. Guaranteed 100% this is going to be a win. It looks like going through these, our biggest win there was a 3-1 win in March 1974. And again in 2003. I think we're going to improve on that. Apparently there's going to be protests tomorrow at the club. The fans are going to chairman out. pulled out, all that stuff, which is lovely because I think if the Cardiff fans don't get behind the team, lovely jubbly for us. So apparently, also they've recalled a young defender who was out on loan at Sheffield Wednesday in League One, and he might be playing. They brought in a young defender from League One to shore them up. Yeah, I think this is going to be 4-1 to Millwall. Done and dusted. Easy-o. As you go. We've put performances in at Sunderland, at Middlesbrough. Didn't get the results, but I think tomorrow, with a bit of luck, I would like. I don't know if he will, but could SA start? Would love to see that. Would love to see what he can do. Because Cardiff ain't the best team in the league. So it's certainly the kind of game that SA could start and show us what he's got. And yeah, I'm pretty certain this is going to be a win, and I reckon it's going to be 4-1 to Millwall. On that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.